24/7, I'm Aaron Dean. An update in the search for a missing submersible and the 5 people inside. The Coast Guard has confirmed that the debris found on the ocean floor near the Titanic is from that submersible. The Titan lost contact with its surface ship nearly 2 hours after it dove into the North Atlantic this week. Chris Wynn has the latest on the search from Boston.
This afternoon, OceanGate releasing a statement saying that the 5 people aboard the Titan have sadly been lost. The Coast Guard confirming that the debris found on the ocean floor this morning was from the external body of the missing submersible, ending a dramatic rescue operation that had captured the minds of many across the world.
The worst fears of many were confirmed in the search for a missing submersible Thursday.
This morning, an ROV, or remote operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families.
Lost aboard the missing sub, Stockton Rush, CEO of OceanGate, the company leading the voyage. French researcher Paul-Henri Nargeolet, known as Mr. Titanic, who's been to the wreck more than 36 times. Aviation company chairman and adventure explorer Hamish Harding, and Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his teenage son Suleiman.
On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families.
The mission now changes to recovering the Titan and bringing closure to the families and colleagues of those who were aboard.
Again, the focus now shifts to recovering the capsule that held the crew. Officials are still working through the timeline of the vessel's failure. Reporting from Boston, I'm Chris Wynn. Back to you.
Well, the U.S. could have its first RSV vaccine for older Americans by this fall. An advisory committee for the CDC voted in favor of allowing adults 60 and older to get the RSV vaccine. The CDC still has to make a final decision. The agency is looking at 2 vaccines which have already been approved by the FDA. Some committee members are concerned about the price of the shots and the lack of data for people over the age of 75. RSV can cause serious illness for seniors, children, and people with underlying health conditions. And a new report is highlighting alarming trends across the country when it comes to health care. The Commonwealth Fund released its 2023 scorecard on state health system performance. The report looks at 58 measures of health outcomes, equity, and affordability. Researchers found a surge in preventable deaths in every state, largely driven by COVID-19 deaths. According to the report, the maternal mortality rate nearly doubled between 2018 and 2021. The report also blamed the pandemic for increases in substance abuse and for creating barriers to mental health care and chronic diseases like diabetes and cancer. According to the report, medical debt totals $88 billion nationwide. And the FDA is developing new nutritional labels for the front of packaged foods. They hope that it'll help consumers make healthier choices and avoid diet-related chronic diseases. The FDA also believes that the new labeling will encourage the food industry to develop healthier products. The agency is pushing to have these new front label regulations out by December. The labels would be in addition to existing nutritional facts on the back of food packages. The House Ethics Committee is set to review a censure resolution against Democratic Representative Adam Schiff. That's after Republicans passed it along party lines this week. The resolution involves the representative's role in the first impeachment of former President Trump and the Russia probe. It comes as some Republicans plan a potential impeachment vote of their own.
Well, look, it's a badge of honor.
Representative Adam Schiff says a rare party line vote to censure him yesterday shows he did the right thing. It's over his role in the first impeachment of former President Donald Trump and the Russia probe.
Threatening national security, undermining our duly elected president, and bringing dishonor upon the institution.
Schiff says that's false and defamatory.
This is basically Trump and MAGA world going after someone they think is effective and standing up to them.
The resolution refers the matter to the House Ethics Committee, despite Democrats' objections.
They've turned it into a puppet show, and you know what? The puppeteer, Donald Trump, is shining a light on the strings.
The timing of the resolution is notable.
Will Representative Schiff present himself in the well?
Some Republicans want to vote on impeaching President Joe Biden this same week. The irony is not lost on House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who's trying to dissuade them.
We're going to censure Adam Schiff for taking us through impeachment and lying to the American public, and you want to turn around the next day and do the same thing we just censored.
I'm Amy Kindly reporting.
The Federal Trade Commission is suing Amazon, accusing the company of tricking its customers. The FTC filed a federal lawsuit alleging Amazon deceived millions of customers into signing up for its Prime subscription service. Prosecutors say that Amazon also used deceptive interface designs known as dark patterns to frustrate users who were actually trying to cancel their memberships. No word from Amazon about this lawsuit. And we're getting a first look at a new stamp honoring the late Congressman and civil rights legend John Lewis. State and federal leaders were on hand for this week's unveiling of the new Forever stamp at the Capitol. The stamp features a picture of Lewis taken in 2013 for Time magazine. The Georgia civil rights activist was one of the planners and speakers at the historic March on Washington in August 1963. Lewis spent more than 30 years in Congress defending and building civil rights for Americans before passing away in 2020 from pancreatic cancer. Well, summer is here and Texas is already dealing with potentially record-breaking heat waves. And those warmer temperatures across the country this summer mean higher utility bills. The Advocate Channel's Jen Sullivan has some tips for you to keep those costs down this season.
And then here, it goes up to 200.
Bracing for a hot summer with high utility bills as costs for water, electricity, and even gas tends to climb as the temperatures rise.
It's going to be a long summer. Now it's a matter of, will I have enough money for rent?
According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, average electricity prices expected to rise about 2% from last year. And while the latest consumer price index showed energy costs decline 3.6% in May, prices are still too high for some Americans.
I think of the people who are going to have to make choices between paying their electricity bill, paying for food, paying for medicine or health care.
Here are 5 tips to keep utility bills down this summer. Number 1, use your dishwasher instead of hand washing. While it does use electricity, it saves energy and water. The U.S. Department of Energy says that could save you thousands of gallons of water each year. Also, air dry the dishes to reduce your dishwasher's energy. Number 2, raise the thermostat and use a fan. Raising the temperature and using a fan can help you use less energy running your air conditioner. Number 3, switch to more efficient bulbs. LED bulbs use at least 75% less energy than incandescent lighting. Number 4, use cold water when you wash laundry. The Department of Energy says 90% of the electricity used to wash a load goes towards heating the water. Number 5, check the air ducts. Holes, clogs, and leaks can lower your HVAC's efficiency. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And thanks for joining us for AC 24/7. For more, go to advocatechannel.com and subscribe on the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For AC 24/7, I'm Aaron Dean.